Hi everyone. Today I am going to talk about why fashion belongs to the streets instead of rich people. You may think that fashion only belongs to rich people who want to look poor and homeless, but I respectfully disagree with this idea. Real fashion comes from the streets, and many people forget the idea of what fashion is. Fashion is a statement. It's not just about materials or the clothes that you wear. It's not about designers, but it's about the statement behind. It's also about the message behind. It reveals something real. And when those poor people wear those kind of clothes, it reveals the cruel reality of the world that we live in. Designers are inspired by real people. Maybe to understand this better, we need to ask first, why do rich people cosplay poor people as a fashion? Maybe it's about the message behind that. Maybe there's a philosophy behind that. Maybe that effortlessness is the key here. It is the thing that makes something is fashionable and something is unfashionable. So according to this mindset, we really can understand what do rich people want to do. When you see poor people with the same clothes, you may think this is not fashion. But when you look at a rich person, where is the exact thing? It is fashion. It becomes a fashion statement. So what makes the difference? The people who wear that? The financial reality? I don't think so. I think the real thing that makes something fashionable or not is the perspective. It is all about perspectives. It shows that there are no strict lines between those things. And for me, the real fashion is not on the Met Gala, it's not on the designers, but it is on the streets. Everyone who wears something weird, something's non-conforming, it is a statement of fashion. Even though they are not aware of it, it doesn't matter. It is still fashion as they reflect who those people are, as they represent where do these people come from, as it represents their own social cycles. In this way, you can understand who comes from where. And it is also a very powerful thing. It is the power of fashion. Maybe the reason why rich people want to cosplay poor is maybe just it is an aesthetic for them, like everything else. It is maybe coming from an Orientalist worldview. Quite years, poor people influence rich people, their fashion understanding. Many of the times, rich people cosplayed as poor and it became a way of fun. It's not just new for the French Revolution. Some aristocrats cosplayed as poor people and they lived like that and they wore dresses like that. It was a kind of amusement for them. But maybe behind that consciousness, there was something hidden. Why do rich people want to act like poor people? Is it just because of wonder and curiosity, or poor people have something rich people don't have? I think rich people are obsessed with fashion. It is undeniable, but poor people, on the other hand, don't have time to think about their clothes. They don't have any time to stop and say, oh my god, what should I wear? They don't do that. Some of them are homeless. Some of them try to pay the bills. So, of course, they never have time to think about what to wear. They don't wear clothes, things. But rich people, on the contrary, do everything. And when you try your hardest to look fashionable, chic, you know, sometimes you become too much. And it may also ick other people. Maybe because of the shortness of poor people, rich people look at that and said, they are so effortless, but look at them. Like, it is aesthetic. Like, ghetto, like, it's an aesthetic. And when they looked at poor people, they didn't see the poverty. They didn't see how those people were struggling, suffering, but instead they saw fashion. Instead, they looked at the appearances, forms, rather than looking at the people's faces. So that influenced them. It's not something new. It always existed until the times that rich people existed. So this turned into a way that rich people cosplay poor people are never given credits. They are never given credits as they were not seen as human beings to start with. And this is very cruel, but it also reflects the society as it is. It reveals how damned we are, how cooked we are. Industry itself looks for inspiration from the real people, from poor people, instead of fixing their problems. For poor people, they don't decide what to wear. Maybe they don't have any other outfits. They wear what they need to do. Is effortlessness for rich people instead of a cruel reality. For that reason, for me, fashion is cruel as well. But it's also about perspectives. Maybe even though you are poor, you are really like suffering, you're an inspiration and muse for others. I know it is weird and it's not comforting either, but you're still like being seen. Even though you are not being seen as a human being, you are still being seen in a way, in another way, as an object, as a way of desire. This is a sad face of fashion industry, and for that reason, I think poor people are more fashionable than rich people. Even with all those limitations, even with all those sufferings, poor people are more swag than rich people. It doesn't change this fact, and always there will be someone who doesn't have money but who will wear better than the rich people, because fashion is subjective, it's not objective. Even though for those people, for those poor people, the things they wear are just clothes, they are just materials, they are not expression of fashion, but it is still fashionable for others. So can we talk about perspectives here? Does one need to know everything about fashion in order to be fashionable?